Sorry I didn't do a show last week. I did not have any clean shirts to wear. But this one is clean. And it smells real good. Let's talk about the game.
Elbow, forearm, he's going to be down.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
The flag that was thrown on this was picked up.
I don't know, did it get the face mask?
So by rule, the game is over.
The Lions Hangover.
Welcome back to another episode of the Lions Hangover podcast. I am your glorious host, Brad. Find me on all social medias. And of course, if you're listening to me, it's on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts. And if you're seeing this $1 million smile, you are tuning in on the YouTube channel. How do you tune in on the YouTube channel? You think that'd be like channel 2? Channel 68? Would it be a VHF or a UHF? The young kids don't even know what I'm talking about. But there were like two different antenna dials. It was weird. One was UHF. Look, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Detroit Lions beating the Los Angeles Chargers today 41-38. And I have to say, this is the second time I've been recording this. I did almost an entire episode and I did not hit record on the microphone. There was no audio being recorded, but now there is. So I get to say all of it again, and hopefully I say it better this time in the second half. So, new background. You guys like it? I hope so. I hope it looks good. Okay, so let's talk about the Lions game and the scoring. Let's break it down. The Lions got things started with a field goal from Riley Patterson, 33 yards, 10:09 left in the first quarter. Then Dicker the kicker comes back. Dicker the kicker. Your name is Dicker the kicker. This guy had two options in life. One was to be a kicker in the NFL, and the other one is to be some sort of an actor. Get it? Get it? All right. But he chose, what is it, the former? Yeah, he chose the former. Next, Jahmyr Gibbs with a 1-yard touchdown run. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery both played fantastic today. This one goes to Jahmyr Gibbs with a 1-yard touchdown run. He had lots of big runs to set this one up, and he scores again at the beginning of the second quarter. Not the beginning, but halfway through the second quarter. 7:30 left in the half. Sorry, indigestion chilly today. 7:30 left in the half with another 1-yard touchdown run, so that's 2 for him on the day. At this point, the Lions are leading 17-3. Man, Jahmyr Gibbs had a couple amazing runs. We'll talk about him in a second. Keenan Allen, 29-yard pass from Justin Herbert. He scores with 3:21 left. 17-10 is the score at this moment. And David Montgomery says, I see you, Jahmyr Gibbs. I can do it better. So David Montgomery, 75-yard. This play, as they showed on the CBS broadcast, had a 0.1% chance of being a touchdown, and it was. Hopefully somebody, had like a huge parlay bet on a 75-yard touchdown run for David Montgomery. I'm sure they would have won $1 gazillion, and that is a legitimate amount. A gazillion, look it up. The Chargers end the half with the scoring with an Austin Eckler 2-yard touchdown run, 23 seconds left in the half. That makes the game 24-17 in favor of the Lions. Now, this is part of some questioning that I have in the coaching staff. They go with a screen pass. The Lions, they have the ball with like 20 seconds left in the half. They go with the screen pass to Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams had a subpar game, but he's looking a little bit better. He's getting there. Oh, and by the way, Jameson Williams had that touchdown. The refs were kind of weak today. I'm not going to lie. There were some calls both sides of the team, so I'm not even being biased here. It's not like I felt like they were picking on the Lions. What was that one where the offsetting penalties where they called roughing the passer and intentional grounding, the same one? It was not roughing the passer, and it was not intentional grounding. It is probably the worst. It's just football. That was a football play. There's no more football than that. And the touchdown for Jameson Williams, he's got to be like the most unlucky person. Isn't that like 3 touchdowns now he has had called back because of a penalty? Wasn't like the second touchdown he had last year after that first 41-yard bomb from Jared Goff. All right, he scored that one. Didn't they do it again like the next week and he scored, but they called it back? And didn't it happen again earlier in this season where they called a touchdown back? Am I making that up? And this would be the third one today. It's like the dude cannot catch a break. Even when he plays well, the refs are there just to screw him over a little bit more. Anyway, not happy with the refs today. They did not necessarily decide the outcome of the game, but they did not make things easy for either team. And the calls that they did make were not legit. And can somebody tell me why number, was it 58? I don't remember his name on the Chargers, the offensive line. He's the right guard. He was looking back the entire time, and then he would come forward and he'd do an invisible punch, like before the ball. Aren't you supposed to be set for a legit second? Like, how is this not a false start every single time? Does this guy have Tourette's or is he OCD or something? And I'm not trying to make fun of him if he is, but how is that allowed? Like, you stay put. You have to stay put. That's like the point of the game. Stay put. Don't move. Don't throw invisible punches. It doesn't make sense to me. If somebody knows the answer, please comment on the video below. Whatever, reach out to me on social media. I want to know why that is not a false start. I really do want to know. I forgot where I was. Okay, so after David Montgomery with a 75-yard touchdown run, okay, I remember where I was at now. Okay, after the Austin Eckler 2-yard touchdown run, they do a screen pass to Jameson Williams. They let the time run out. That does not make sense to me. Why not get aggressive? This is a good chance to set up Riley Patterson to be a hero, to know if he can make a 41-yard field goal later in the game. Actually, in fact, if you let him kick a 41, if you get him in position for a 41-yard field goal, right now, you had like 2 of your timeouts left, plenty of time to get into field goal position. You would know, well, you wouldn't need him at the end of the game, but you would also know that he could handle it under a high-pressure situation. The only thing I can think of is it's the end of the half. Lions get the ball after the half. Why do anything to like shake things up a little bit? But the way I see it is LA just scored a touchdown. It's 24-17. They already are building back. Like, why not increase your lead? Why not give yourself momentum going into half? Because right now, momentum belongs to LA. Why not try to give yourself the momentum? But instead, they do the screen pass. They let time run out. They go into the half. They get the ball back after the half, and they don't do anything. 3 and out. I think it was their first 3 and out of the game was after the half. This leads to a touchdown by Jalen Guyton, 18-yard pass from Justin Herbert. Now the score is tied 24-24. But Amon-Ra St. Brown says no, and he gets a 20-yard pass from Jared Goff, and he gets a touchdown, so now the score is 31-24. Pretty exciting so far, right? On to the fourth quarter we go. Quentin Johnson, 1-yard TD pass from Justin Herbert. Dicker the kicker with the extra point. What a fantastic name. Dicker the kicker. Dicker the kicker. Dicker the kicker. I hope he has a tattoo. Dicker the kicker. All right. Next, we have a Brock Wright 25-yard pass from Jared Goff. Touchdown with 7:30 remaining in the game. This was possibly Jared Goff's best throw of the game. This is my favorite throw of the game. It could not have been shorter. It could not have been overthrown. I think this pass is a little bit harder than it looks. There were 3 defenders around Brock Wright, and that ball was right where it needed to be. Everybody thought it was going to be a run. I thought it was going to be a run. I didn't even like this play call. But, of course, hindsight is 20/20, and Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell are geniuses because of it, because Brock Wright gets his first touchdown of the season. I believe it's his first touchdown of the season. I'm calling it. This is his first touchdown of the season. If I'm wrong, this is another reason for you to comment below on the YouTube channel. Now, this is where things get a little bit dicey. Keenan Allen, after being knocked out of the game for a little bit, comes back and gets a 38-yard pass. The defense was non-existent on this play. Who knows what was happening? Pretty much wide open. And Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen are, of course, amazing athletes. They are star players on this offense, and the Chargers have a high-powered offense. And they waste no time scoring with 3:34 left in the game. Now, the Lions, 3.5 minutes left, going down the field. They come up to a 4th down, and they throw it. And, man, was I freaking nervous. I thought it was going to be another run. Again, I was confused and befuddled and baffled and what other B word there is for my brain, to express to you that I was confused and frustrated with the play calling, but they get the first down. So now there's like a minute and a half left. Chargers, no timeouts. Lions, 3 timeouts. And what do? You think they're going to run the ball? They got Montgomery. They got Gibbs. They're going to run the ball. Maybe, work it down to the 10-yard line. Who knows? Maybe even get a touchdown with like 15 seconds left because things are looking good at that point, right? Chargers don't have any timeouts. But no, instead they kneel the clock out, and I'm sure that's the safe play. But you don't know what Riley Patterson is feeling today. You don't know how he's doing. You have not given him a chance all day. So you wait to the end of the game to see if he can kick a 41-yard field goal. You don't even try to make it a 35-yard field goal or a 30-yard field goal, something to increase the chances. Instead, you just kneel the clock out. You make it a 41-yard field goal. And it's stupid because we win the game. We're 7-2. I'm just nitpicking perfection. But I just don't get it. Why not increase your chances? Now, I know the Lions are like, what was it, like 3 years ago when Alvin Kamara scores, or Todd Gurley scores a touchdown, and that was like the worst thing that could have happened because that gave the Lions the ball back. So I know they were thinking, well, we don't want to score a touchdown here, but again, you were in the lead. If you scored a touchdown, they would have to score a touchdown. Worst case scenario, you'd be tied again, and you would still have all 3 of your timeouts. So I just don't get the play calling. Instead, they have Jared Goff victory formation, kneel the clock out, and they give it up to Riley Patterson to kick a 41-yard field goal. Can he do it? He did. He did it. I like Riley Patterson, but he is not Mr. Automatic, and you don't know. The dude kicked a 52-yarder 2 weeks ago, but he missed like a 30-yarder that same game. So it's like you just don't know. And to me, that was a gamble that you could have increased your chances of winning a little bit better, but they won. So again, it's just me nitpicking. So let's go over the stats exactly. Jared Goff was 23 of 33 with 333 yards passing with 2 touchdowns, 0 sacks. 0 sacks for both teams. That is actually pretty pathetic. Lions offensive line did great, but so did the Chargers. Jared Goff had a quarterback rating of a 122.4. David Montgomery finishes the game with 12 carries for 116 yards, 1 touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 14 carries for 77 yards. So he only had like 2 yards in the second half. That's just weak. But he had 2 touchdowns. They both had fantastic games. Amon-Ra St. Brown even had 2 carries for 9 yards. And I like that one carry. That was a good play design, man. That fooled me. I would like to see that again. Amon-Ra St. Brown also had 8 receptions for 156 yards and a touchdown, his longest being 46. Khalif Raymond, 2 catches, 46 yards. Sam Laporta, he got active late in the game, 4 catches for 40 yards. Gibbs also added 3 catches for 35 yards. Man, he is just an all-around weapon. Running the ball, catching the ball, he can do it all. Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs. Jameson Williams also had 2 catches for 9 yards. He was also targeted 2 times. Of course, he should have had that touchdown that was called back, which just is not right. Josh Reynolds had 2 catches, but he was targeted 4 times. I don't know if Goff gave him the best opportunity to succeed. I know they like Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds has had a great year, but I don't like his drops that he had, but he also was covered as well. So I think Jared Goff needs to pick his opportunities to throw to him a little bit better. Alex Anzalone finishes the game with 9 tackles, Kirby Joseph 7. And of course, who had the interception? Wasn't it Kirby Joseph? I think it was Kirby Joseph, because right afterward, Jim Nantz called him Carry Joseph or something like that. It was really, really weird. Cam Sutton almost had another interception. There was only 1 tackle for loss, and that was by Cam Sutton. Yeah, there it is. Kirby Joseph, 1 interception. Khalif Raymond. Riley Patterson was 2 for 2 with field goals today. 41 being the longest, and of course, that was at the end of the game for the game winner. Let's check out the Chargers. How did Justin Herbert do? Justin Herbert did 27 of 40 for 323 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception with a quarterback rating of 114. So he had a solid game. Just, the Lions defense could not stop them at all. Justin Eckler had 19 carries for 67 yards. The team finished with 98 yards rushing. So again, it's another day where the Lions hold the other team under 100 yards rushing. 1 touchdown for Austin Eckler, which we, of course, knew. Keenan Allen was the star of the offense for the Chargers. He had 11 receptions for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 14 targets. I thought the Lions' defense was solid the first half. I thought they gave away a little bit more in the second half, but I think the momentum was changing. I think some of that has to do with right before halftime, the Chargers scoring the touchdown, the Lions not being aggressive. Like, you just got to give yourself some opportunities. There was that the defensive stand that the Lions did. Was it like 7 plays, on the 1 yard line? And then there was that bogus pass interference call that gave them another opportunity. The Chargers, that is. I'm just trying to point out the high points of the defense today, which there were not many. Of course, the Chargers made a good goal line stand against the Lions as well. Derwin James Jr., he had 13 tackles for the Chargers today. I just overall both teams, and he's a safety too, but both teams didn't do that great on defense. I mean, you let up 38 and 41 points respectively. Both defenses need to step it up. The Chargers fall to 4-5, and of course the Lions go up to 7-2. Next week for the Detroit Lions, they play the Chicago Bears, and we've been waiting all year for this. I don't care how bad the Bears are, how good the Bears are. I want to destroy them. Bears fans have by far been the most annoying fans this year in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. They're so annoying. And at first they were all about Justin Fields and how amazing he is. I can't tell you how many times I saw they were predicting he was going to go for 4,000 yards. How close is he to 4,000 yards right now? Seriously, he's not doing anything. And is he even going to play, or is it going to be the third string backup guy that plays Pokemon or whatever? No offense to the Pokemon players, but I'm just saying, or he was going to become a UFC fighter. Man, those are two opposite extremes. He was just going to be training for UFC. They did get, what's his name, from Washington at the trade deadline. I don't know how much that's really going to matter. I just feel like the Bears organization is horribly run. I'm not a fan of their GM. I'm not a fan of their coach, Eberflus. I don't think he's a good coach. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think Justin Fields is a good quarterback. Is Justin Fields going to play? I don't know. They don't seem to have a clear answer. Did he play today? Let's look this up. Chicago. They lost today against the Carolina Panthers. They won today. I'm sorry, 16-13. So who was the quarterback for the Bears today? It was Bagent. He was the quarterback. He went 20 of 33 for 162 yards. I don't know if Justin Fields is going to play. I don't care if Justin Fields plays. We are going to destroy Bagent. We will destroy Justin Fields. Justin Fields scares me a little bit more because he can scramble, and even still this year, that is the Lions' Achilles heel. Yeah, the Lions cannot stop scrambling quarterbacks. That is their weak spot. So, it doesn't. This should be an easy victory. I'm just saying that at home, off of 2 weeks removed from the bye week. If the Bears won today, no, they wouldn't flex it. They got to do 2 weeks, right? Yeah, so they're not going to flex this game. Dante Foreman had 21 carries for 80 yards today for the Bears. He's good. Does he scare you, though? He only ran for 80 yards on 21 carries against the Panthers. Does he scare you? I think the Lions' run defense is a little bit better than that. They got Cole Kmet. I do think tight ends are a little bit of a weakness for the Lions. DJ Moore, he can be a weapon, but other than that, there's not a whole bunch of weapons on the offense. I just don't see it. I don't see the Bears being a good matchup for the Lions. The Lions had an easy time against them last year. I'll tell you what, though, the Lions' defense needs to get some sacks, specifically Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's playing great. He's getting some pressure. I think there's times today when the quarterback, Justin Herbert, was a little bit scared, but regardless, you have to get into the backfield. You have to not just be getting hits on the quarterback. You have to be sacking the quarterback. I think this is going to be a game like the Raiders where the Lions get like 6-7 sacks. I I don't care who the quarterback is. And I also look for 1 or 2 interceptions. This should be an easy victory, and that I hope it's an easy victory. And this isn't supposed to be me talking smack against the Bears, but Jesus, for the love of God, Bears fans are so annoying. You guys suck. I'm sorry, you suck. We were there 2 years ago. We were there. We know, man. But you guys are not any good. You have to accept it. So I don't care if you get Mr. Sweat or whatever your name is. Let's look for the defense stats, just so I get this right. Team stats. Oh, well, I can't find it. I can't think of his name either because I just don't care. But the dude they traded for from Washington, and then they just signed him to a monster contract. So they signed him. They signed the linebackers in the offseason. You still have only won 3 games all year. You are 3-7. I'm sorry. You're no good. You're no good. You're no good. Anyway, that's it for me. I think I've talked enough smack against the Bears. I think I've given enough hype for the Lions. I'm looking for an easy victory next week. Easy, not guaranteed. It's the NFL. Teams lose all the time. The Chiefs lost to the Broncos, and they're not supposed to. So I can't say it's a guaranteed victory, but very high chance that the Lions will win next week and that the Lions will go 8-2 in the NFL. When's the last time the Lions went 8-2? It's amazing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please rate, please subscribe, please leave comments. I love all that stuff. And I will talk to you guys next week. I hope if I have clean shirts, we will find out.